The men on the flip side don't want a woman that's saying, I don't need you. Ooh. I make my own money, so what do I need you for?
But wait, can I ask you a question? What is the problem with I don't need you to function in my life, but I do desire you. I do love you. I do want you, but I do not need you to
Oh, SD, what's up, SD?
So you talking that up on the humble, because that's and a lot of times I don't even fall in line with the traditional conversation, but like that's not how that badge gets worn.
Okay, how does
that
it
badge
get worn?
doesn't get worn as I don't need you, but I love you. It's I don't need you because you triggered something in me that validated what I thought about y'all all along.
So this is what we're going to get into on this video. What's the problem with women saying they want a man, but they don't need a man? To illustrate the problem with this mindset, I want to share 3 stories with you. The first story is about me. When I was 20 years old, I had a best friend, and I needed my best friend to watch my daughter because I had just got hired at Verizon Wireless, and it was a substantial increase in my income. And at the time, my wife was going to college, so she was taking classes and I had to go to work. So we needed a babysitter for like 2 or 3 hours, 5 days a week. So I reached out to my good friend. He was like, I ain't never watched no baby before. I'm like, man, listen, bro, I need you. Trust me, bro. I know you could do a good job. He said, I'll do it. So for the next 3 months, he watched our daughter until that college semester ended. That's when we was in our early 20s. Now we in our mid 30s. And when I tell you, my friend is still talking about how much he appreciated me trusting him with my family. He said, bro, that experience changed my life. I never had nobody that trusted me that much. Now, at the time, I needed my best friend. I looked for other babysitters, but there were scheduling conflicts. I needed my best friend. He did a great job watching our daughter for us. What's the point of the story? The point of the story is that when you need people, you give them the room and the space to show up differently in your life. You give them the space to show up differently for themselves, and you give them the ability to show up differently for you. Because if you're a man and you're not used to people trusting you, or if you're a man and you're not used to being in a position where somebody needs you, then you never really know how you have to show up. So when women say that they want a man, but they don't need a man, the man that they want never shows up, because in order for that man to show up, you would actually have to need him. It would have to be deeper than just a want. When we talk about warfare and warfare tactics and things of that nature, you have to understand that there have been wizards that roamed the earth for a very long time. So psychological warfare and propaganda is not something new. Feminism is propaganda and psychological warfare. Let's be clear. And so a major part of the psychological warfare is a woman saying that she doesn't need a man. Why? Because that cuts at the very core of a man's existence. And the people that created these slogans and these mottos, these were not our friends. These were our enemies seeking to destroy the backbone of America, which was the family. For all races, the backbone of America was family. Now that the family is being torn apart, you can see that America is being torn apart. So that's point number 1. My second story is about my mentor. His name is Andy Henriquez, and he studied under Les Brown. He went to Florida State University, graduated with honors, and became an accountant at a big law firm. But he was saying to himself, it's gotta be more to life than this. He was miserable. Why? Because he had did everything by the book, but he wasn't happy with how his life was going, because it really wasn't the type of life that he wanted to live. So one day he went to go see Les Brown, and after listening to Les Brown, he walked up to him after the seminar and said, "Excuse me, sir, I want to be able to do what you do. I want to learn how to speak and communicate the way that you speak and communicate. I want to change lives. I want to be able to motivate and inspire people." So at that moment, there was a clear distinction between where he was at in life versus where he wanted to be. But then a shift happened. My mentor decided to leave his job, walk out on faith, and become a full-time public speaker before there was any evidence that he could actually accomplish this task other than seeing other people do it. When he decided to leave his job, his want of being a great motivational speaker turned into a need because he put himself in a position to where now he needed to be a great motivational speaker in order for him to eat, in order for him to pay his bills. You can induce need. You can create situations in your life. If you say you want something, you can create a situation in your life to where you need it, and it's not just a want anymore. Why is this important? Because when people say they want something, a lot of times it just sounds good, but they never gonna make it happen. Why? Because they don't put themselves in a position to need it. So the second reason why it's important for you to need a man instead of merely just wanting a man is so that you can actually change your behavior as a woman and show up differently as a woman. Point number 3, for the women that say they don't need a man, I want you to pay very close attention. Check this out.
Balance everything. I am drowning. I wake up in the morning, I pack my kids' lunches, I drive them to school, I have to rush back so I can make it to my first meeting. My boss tells me that I'm not engaged enough on Zoom, so I have to try harder there. I spend all day doing my job where I don't even leave my desk chair. My house is falling apart. I don't even have time to take my dogs outside during the day, and somehow I'm also supposed to be working out, cooking dinner at night, eating right, helping them with homework. I spend my lunch break picking them up from school, and I don't even get 5 minutes to myself during the day, and it's not even enough. Like, I'm not doing anything 100%. When is it just enough?
I'm so pissed at these women who wanted equal rights. Oh, we want to work too. We want to be treated like equals and go get jobs and work 9 to 5s. Well, I don't. I want to stay at home and make my husband sandwiches. I want to stay in my pajamas. I want to clean the house. He ain't even got to treat me equal. I'll be beneath you. I'm okay with that. If I can get up and make you some coffee, make you a little muffin, make you a lunch and send you on your way, throw a load of clothes in, and sit down on the couch, sign me up. No. I'm getting up at the ass crack of dawn, going to work, making tough decisions. Sick of it.
Welcome to the modern world, where women wanted to be equal to men and wanted to work as hard
See they wanted.
if they wanted to or not.
They all got what they wanted.
I'm sitting here working, and I can't help it but think that I'm tired of working. I have always worked through my pregnancies, through everything. Always paid the majority of the bills. Now I'm like, I don't want to be this strong, independent woman. I don't. I am not interested. I have a huge house. I pay all the bills by myself. I take care of my children. Now I just want the universe to bring me the man that can make me a housewife. I've done it and I'm not interested anymore. I want to be a housewife. I want to have your dinner ready when you get home. I want to take your shoes off, give you a massage. I want to sex you down when you get home. I want somebody to push me back to the 70s. I am not interested in this. I don't want to work anymore. I want to be a housewife. So universe, send me that boss man.
What's the moral of this story? The moral of this story is it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. I remember when I was studying Robert Kiyosaki, and he said banks don't lend money to people that need it. They only lend money to people that don't need it. Old women realizing they need a man, but it's too late. When you was in your 20s, you didn't need a man, but that's exactly when you were supposed to get a man because you had greater bargaining chips. I always bring up the Bible verse in Isaiah where it says it'll be multiple women to one man. And those women will be coming just to get the shame off their name. And they'll be begging for him to take them under his wing because they won't have any bargaining chips. You asking for a loan and you don't have collateral. So in closing, I want to say this. I'm one of those type of individuals. I believe in universal laws. I believe in the Bible. And so based on universal laws, confirming what's in the Bible and the Bible confirming universal laws, the woman comes from the man's rib. Women come from men. A woman's purpose in life should be a man, and a man's purpose in life should be his purpose. The universal law of need versus want and the importance of getting out of your comfort zone and needing something so that you can break out of the fantasy world applies to both men and women. But the areas of life that men have to apply this universal principle are different than the areas of life that women have to apply this principle, because a woman's purpose is supposed to be a man and a man's purpose is supposed to be his purpose, which is given to him by God, which is divine. And that can show up in a number of different ways in terms of an occupation, but really it's the essence of the man behind the occupation that matters most. Does a man move with a sense of purpose? So when we talk about this principle of need versus want, we don't need to get it twisted and think that a man is supposed to need a woman. And one of the things that frustrates me when we have these conversations about gender is that women think the laws of reality, the laws of the universe, don't apply to them. And then they end up like these women that I just showed you that's crying, saying that they need a man. And it's very unfortunate that they got tricked. But at the end of the day, the game is the game. It's also a verse about that in the Bible. But listen, if you like this video, I got more videos just like this below. Click on the link below and watch my video, Independent Women Regret Not Getting Married. I appreciate y'all staying to the end, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.